Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Today we're looking at earning income. We're going to look at 3 ways that people might earn their income and the maths behind it. So we're going to start off with the easiest one, which is called piecework. So piecework is where a person is paid an amount for each unit of work completed. So what a unit of work is depends on the field they're in. For example, they might be a cabinet maker and they're paid a certain amount for each cabinet they make. They may, sell pizzas and they're paid a certain amount for each pizza that they sell. So this one's really easy to do the maths behind it. We'll look at a simple question. So let's say Adam is paid $14.50 for each bottle of cologne he sells, and if he sells 12 bottles a week, how much would he earn? Sorry, another one with cologne. I love cologne. This is really easy. All you have to do is take the amount that he earns per bottle and multiply it by the number of bottles, and you will get $174. That's all there is to it. So then I ask, how many would he need to sell to earn $243? So in this case, you're essentially saying $14.50 times how many bottles equals 243. So in this case, because we don't know how many bottles he sold, like the first one, what we need to do is divide. So we divide 243 by 1450. So that number is just 243 divided by $14.50. So if you put that in the calculator, the number that you actually get isn't a nice, neat number. I'm going to round it to 2 decimal places for now. It's 16.76. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to round that up. He'd need to sell at least 17 bottles to earn that. So I say, therefore, needs to sell at least 17 bottles. Okay, how easy was that? All right, we'll now go on to the next type of work that we're talking about. So pause and copy this down if you like. So the next one is commission. So commission is just where you get a percentage of however much you sell. So if you sell, $200,000 worth of stuff, you get a percentage of that in your pay. But we're going to be looking at people who also earn a fixed amount per week. So let's look at an example. Okay, so this one we're going to look at James, who sells houses. There's often commission paid to people who sell houses. So he earns $500 a week plus 1% of whatever he sells. If he sold something for $750,000, what would be his pay? So let's go ahead and look at that. So his pay would be the $500 because he earns that per week plus 1% of $750,000. You know how to figure that out. 1% of 750,000 is just 1 over 100 times 750,000, just like we've been doing in previous lessons. Okay, so if we put that on our calculator, he's actually going to earn that week $8,000 because 1% of 750,000 is 7,500 plus 500 gives you 8,000. All right, let's look at the last type of work. Okay, so this one, a wage where you earn a certain amount per hour worked. So you might get, $12 an hour or whatever, but that doesn't mean you get $12 an hour all the time. Often people who do this, they're casual workers and they will get paid, say, time and a half on Sundays or double time for public holidays or whatever. So this is the kind of thing that you see with a lot of teenage workers. So let's go ahead and look at a question again. So don't be put off by all the words in this question. So Nathan earns $11.50 per hour, time and a half on Sundays, double time on public holidays, and we're going to work out his pay if he worked 5 normal hours, 4 hours on a public holiday, and 3 hours on a Sunday. So let's start with the normal hours because they're easy. So normal hours, he just gets $11.50 per hour, and there were 5 of them, so it'll just be 5 times $11.50. Okay. Now we'll look at his Sunday hours. So time and a half means that he gets paid, for every hour he works, he gets paid for an hour and a half. So what we do is we take the number of hours that he worked and we times that by 1.5. That actually equals 4.5. So he only worked 3 hours, but he's going to get paid for 4.5. So then we times that by $11.50 as well. And of course, we want to add all of these up together. So similarly, for public holidays, he gets paid double time, meaning for every hour he works, he gets paid for 2 hours. So he worked 4 hours, but he's going to get paid double that. So we double that by timesing by 2, and then of course we times by the rate of 11.50. Okay, so then we just put this all in our calculator. And then our calculator tells us he will be paid $201.25. Okay, so this is the kind of calculation you might do when you're trying to figure out how much you get paid at a weekend job, because you'll earn a certain amount per hour, and when you get more public holidays or Sundays, we call that penalty rates. Some places will pay you time and a half, some will pay double time, but that's what it means, what I just told you. Time and a half, for every hour you work, you get paid for an hour and a half. Double time means for every hour you work, you get paid for 2. Hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.